Hey folks, this is Luke with Flat Earth Consequences, and tonight what I wanted to do was share with you a little bit about who I am and where I came from. Because now I'm in this subject and I'm releasing videos on this and nobody's seen me before. This is not really my forte. I was introduced to this September of 2015 by accident. You know, I can't even tell people how I would respond if somebody brought this information to me and said, hey Luke, the earth is flat. Because the way I was introduced to it was I was asleep one night listening to a radio program. Maybe it was Jeff Rentz or something. I can't remember what, but it auto-played. And the next video that it played, I was already asleep. It played Dave Murphy's The Biggest Lie Ever Told, the first Flat Earth video I had ever seen. So I couldn't watch it. So I just, dragged it over and dropped it on my desktop, and I said, I'm going to watch that later because it really caught my ear. I mean, it woke me up right out of my sleep, and I was like, that makes a lot of sense. That's weird. I'm going to watch that. So anyway, long story short, that next Saturday, I got up that morning, and I turned it on, and I was eager to see it like a little kid going to watch cartoons, and I sit there and watch that thing for an hour and a half or whatever, and I went, whoa! Everything I ever learned about science and the cosmos and the solar system, what a joke, right? Well, you might have had that experience. So what's funny is I can't really say how I would have responded had a friend brought this up to me. So it's kind of funny because other people say, well, how did you respond? Well, I was asleep. It isn't the same. I've never made YouTube videos. I've never sat in front of a camera before or recorded anything. I actually, though, I did go to school, and I loved logic, and I loved philosophy, and I loved language, and I loved the science classes too. I still have a pile of student loans that I wish I wasn't paying off. But I don't work a white-collar job, though. I determined a long time ago it's really important to do what you love to make your living. I've always been a car guy, so I paint hot rods, I build muscle cars, I paint motorcycles, built a few bikes for people, and that's what I like to do. And I'm really good at that, but it doesn't mean I don't know how to use my mind. So this was an interesting subject because it made me recall all of my rational, logical reason to analyze this. And I've enjoyed it quite a bit. I really have. My wife, she has a very handsome IQ and a strong scientific background, psychology too. And she, when she saw this, now I did get to watch her when I exposed her to this, and she was just like, oh man. So I got to see that, but I didn't experience that myself. But most people have a really hard time holding an opinion that is outside of a range of acceptable opinions within their peer group. Most people, even though you show them the overwhelming evidence about the reality of what happened on 9/11, they backpedal on that. No, our government would never do anything like that. Okay. Now they'll believe that Nero burned Rome and fed the Christians to the lions for it. Or maybe Hitler burned down the Reichstag building and blamed it on Poland when he initiated World War II. But you tell them that governments are currently doing that, especially ours. Well, they run for cover. It's kind of childish, really. But I think the indoctrination is so deep, most people can't really handle facing that they've been duped so well, But it really does make you look at life differently, For me, I remember for months I watched every video, and I became acquainted with all the guys putting out the documentaries, and I started really watching the world a lot more closely with regards to, scientific observations. I mean, when I watch the sun go by now, the earth isn't turning in my mind. The sun is on its path going around. You know, when I go to the beach and I look at the horizon, I don't imagine that there's a curvature there. I'm thinking, man, if it was a really clear day and I had a telescope, I could see Europe. But, okay, you know, clearly you can't. But just conceptually, I look at things completely different than I used to. So, you know, but I plan on continuing to do research on this because you can't put it away. Because you're so, every time you turn around, globalism this and around the world that, and it's just like everything comes back to this round earth thing. And you're like, that's not even true. So it kind of bugs you. It bugs me. And so I'm going to continually pull the curtain back every time I think of something new that I see that undermines a fraudulent teaching. And I'm going to put it on YouTube. So I'm in the process right now of getting better. I'm going to build a Screamin' desktop. I want to get some nicer recording equipment so that I can actually edit videos so I can do nicer presentations. You know, full featured presentations instead of just, you know, a guy in a camera, right? But nonetheless, I just, you know, a lot of people, they see a new face and like, who's this bozo? Where'd he come from, you know? And well, the truth is, I'm just some guy that was asleep one night and a flat earth video played. I got sucked in, you know, because I can think. And I looked at it and how do you deny what makes sense to you? You can't. It becomes part of you. It really becomes part of you. And, you know, that's cool. But you will hold an opinion that other people won't. And you'll have people think you're weird a little bit. Well, so what? So what? Unpopularity is really not that bad. Do you have to follow every trend? Do you have to like the same music and like the same football team and wear the same clothes and be like everyone around you to feel like you're somebody? You really only need to make friends with the truth. Every person who is alive has an obligation to seek purpose and to make sense of the world around them. Try to comprehend the things that they see and the things that they hear and apply it to themselves. You are what you do, and you do what you think about. And you think about what's in your heart. So if truth is one of the things, you know, that you're going to pursue, unfortunately, you're going to find some that nobody else wants to hear. And it's their loss. It's not yours. There's no loss in losing superficial acquaintances. But there's a great deal to be gained by recognizing other like-minded people who are just looking for the truth, and they're reasonable. And they'll examine everything openly. There are no sacred cows. You can't say, this one is beyond scrutiny. We will accept that as it is without looking into it to verify it or validate it. You know, nobody should hold a belief that they're not firmly convinced about in their own mind. Belief shouldn't be handed to you like somebody just poured water in a bucket and there you are, that's what you believe. You know, and education is supposed to start a fire so you can think on your own and you can draw your own conclusions. Not just memorize a bunch of crap so you can get a grade to pass a class to hopefully get a job that you'll probably hate anyway. There's so many people that are lost. And then you stumble into a subject like this and somehow it recenters you because you're having to reconcile a topic that brings everything you've ever been told into question, and the people that told it to you are called into question. So, you know, I'm sure if I wrote an outline, my deliveries here would be much better, but I just wing it in front of the camera because honestly, if you're not being yourself, well, they call it YouTube because you're supposed to be you, right? Well, there you go. So, but I wanted to introduce myself. I'm actually the hot rod builder, custom paint guy, you know, with an education that cost me way too much money. However, an education isn't there to get you a job. You know, and never let school get in the way of your education. Formal schooling is a wonderful thing, but it's a starting point. It didn't replace all the thinking you need to do in life. So, chew on that. I have another couple videos coming out that I think you're going to enjoy, because I've recognized something that is a horrible inconsistency on NASA's part, and I'm going to reveal that in one of my next couple videos. So anyway, enjoy what I've put out there if you do, and you know, subscribe and share it. And I have something on the horizon that I'm going to bring to the table very quickly. I have a few things I have to do first with regards to getting set up to produce the videos more professionally. But you'll hear from me then, and I will be back soon. So I am Luke, and I made Flat Earth Consequences, and I'll be back. So have a great day.